Hey, this is Seth Welling, and welcome to another AFI 100 Greatest American Film List Review. Today we're going to do Doctor Zhivago. Domani Oregato, Doctor Zhivago. Doctor Zhivago is a 1965 film starring Omar Sharif and as Yuri Zhivago and Julie Christie as Lara Antipova. Was based on the 1957 Boris Pasternak novel, which covers the time period between just before World War I until after the Russian Revolution. Of course, it was banned in Russia for decades, and the movie was mostly shot in Spain and Canada. Rod Steiger and Alec Guinness also star. Doctor Zhivago won 5 Oscars, including Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Score, and Cinematography. It's listed on the 1998 AFI 100 Greatest American Film List in the 39th slot, and it's not on the 2007 list, probably because it's 3 hours long. It was popular during the Cold War because the book was seen as an example of anti-Russia propaganda. Since the fall of the Soviet Union, this movie has been seen as dated. This film follows 3 basic characters. First, it follows Yuri Zhivago through his life as a young orphan boy, as a poet who's studying medicine, where he meets his wife Tanya. Secondly, it follows Zhivago's mistress Lara, who's endlessly caught in a love triangle between Pasha, her husband, Komarovsky, a powerful man who wishes to possess her, and Zhivago himself. If it weren't enough, this movie is framed through the lens of Zhivago's half-brother, KGB Lieutenant General Yevgraf Zhivago, who is trying to find Zhivago's niece in the current day and 1940s, 1950s. There are 3 problems with this film, in that it painted a postcard of the Russian Revolution. Number 1. Much like The Sound of Music paints a picture of the Second World War, where you see suffering, but you don't feel it. In The Sound of Music, the Von Trapp family live the life of luxury in Vienna, far away from the Jewish people who are being taken to concentration camps. There are ominous threats by a ranking Nazi officer who's trying to get Von Trapp to commit to the Nazi cause, but there's nothing like the horror that the average people faced. The same goes with Doctor Zhivago. We see Yuri Zhivago and Lara fall in love during World War I, but it's a love story that's completely devoid of the horrors of war. The war is just window dressing to the story when it should play more of a part. The second problem is that Doctor Zhivago is a slice-of-life movie, meaning that for many Americans, it goes nowhere. While slice of life works in Europe, it doesn't work for an American audience, because we're used to a build-up and a payoff. Gone with the Wind is an American Doctor Zhivago because the Civil War is just a backdrop. Pales in comparison to Scarlett O'Hara's problems. She has slaves, but there's no talk of emancipation or anything involving their plight. It's all about Scarlett and her drive to keep Tara, her family home, alive. But unlike Zhivago, whose death is treated like a footnote, Scarlett O'Hara vows that she will triumph over her problems. Comparatively, you care a lot for Scarlett O'Hara, and you don't feel strongly about Doctor Zhivago or anyone in that film. The final nail in the coffin is that the whole story of Zhivago's life is just an anecdote to the larger, smaller story of Yevgraf Zhivago's search for the long-lost niece. At the end, he thinks it's Tanya, but it's suggested and not proven. Why do we care about anyone in this film? The only reason to watch this film anymore is if you're lovelorn and must love dogs. John Cusack played one of his forlorn characters who was obsessed with love doesn't exist. This is the thing that comes through. Everything is meaningless, and we die alone. Nice! But you're not meaningless. You're not alone, and you're becoming a better, faster, stronger you every day. So click that like button, subscribe, visit my links in the comment box below, hit that bell on my notifications about my next video, and have a better day.